Hi, Suffolk Camper here, welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about a nice little CO2 pistol. I picked this up last week on Friday. It's the Crosman Vigilante 177 CO2 air pistol, and I just wanted to give the gun a quick review and have a quick look at it so you guys can, if anyone's thinking of buying it, I'm hoping they can watch this video and maybe it will help them either decide whether they want to buy it or not buy it. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview of the specifications, and then I'll give the gun a quick test fire so you can see it in action quickly. Okay. So yeah, this is the Crosman Vigilante. Okay. And I'm going to give you some of the specifications now. So it's a 177 caliber. It takes either ball bearings, steel ball bearings, or 177 pellets. The pellet velocity is up to 435 FPS, according to the manufacturer. The ball bearing velocity is up to 465 FPS. It takes rotary magazines, one for pellets and one for ball bearings. The pellet magazine is 10 shots, and which I'll show you an example of. Can you see that? Here we go. So there's the 10-shot rotary magazine for pellets, and here is the 6-shot magazine for ball bearings. I'm not sure why they made the ball bearing one 6 and the pellet 10, but that's basically what they've done. And hang on one second. I've got a couple of magazines preloaded to show you. This is now loaded with ball bearings, as you can see. 6 shots. And this has been preloaded with pellets. Okay. So these are the 2 rotary magazines you'll get. So anyway, the length of the gun is 11.38 inches. The weight is about 2 pounds. It has a steel inner barrel, so it's got a nice tough inner barrel. The rear sight is adjustable. The barrel is rifled, and the safety is a hammer block, which I will show you in more detail. So if we pick up the gun, let's have a look at it, shall we? It's a really nice looking revolver. As you can see, it's got Vigilante embossed in the side of it. Now this is a break action revolver. So to load it, what you do is you press down on the little button here, and the action will break open. And from there you can remove your magazine, rotary magazine, and replace it. And there we have it, like so. I actually quite like the break action. Some people have complained about it, saying it's not realistic, but I actually quite like it. It reminds me of the Webley service revolver. I know it's only an air gun, but I think there's something weirdly satisfying about snapping it back into place and having a nice loaded revolver. Now the gun is made, a lot of it's made of polymer. The barrel is plastic or polymer, whatever you want to call it. The main frame here is metal. This is all metal. The trigger is metal. The hammer's metal. The grips are metal. So if you have a look at some of the markings. So yeah, obviously, again, we have Vigilante here. On the handle, you have the Crosman logo. On the left side here, you have the usual warning. Like misuse or careless use may result in serious injury or death. I mean, I personally can't imagine anyone being killed by one of these, but I suppose they have to put a warning. Then here you've got the caliber 177 cal 4.5mm and BB cal caliber 4.5mm. Okay, it has a fixed front sight. Obviously all guns do, I'm pretty sure. That the rear sight is adjustable. I think for both windage and elevation. I'm not sure, but the rear sight is definitely adjustable. The safety, I'll talk about the action. It's both single and double action. So obviously you can cock the hammer and fire it, or you can just however you want to shoot. The safety is so you can see that bit. The safety is here in the rear. It's on safety now, and to take it off safety, yeah, so it's now on fire. When it's sticking out here, you can see a little red dot there. That means it's on safe. So it's blocking the hammer from going fully forward and releasing the CO2. The barrel is not recessed, but that doesn't matter. Overall, I'd say it's quite a nice looking revolver for a budget gun. It looks really nice. It's got a nice kind of mean look. It's quite a mean looking gun, even for an air gun. It's quite big. Obviously, because a lot of it's polymer, it's not as heavy as like a real steel gun. I'd say it's about a medium weight. It's still quite nice to hold in the hand. It looks really nice. Its construction is quite solid. There's no kind of like loose parts. It doesn't like wiggle or anything. And the thing with Crosman is even though their guns tend to be the cheaper end of the spectrum, my personal experience is that Crosman guns have always been very reliable. Crosman guns just seem to last for a long time. Budget guns normally tend to outlast the more expensive guns, like the blowback guns that have more working parts and that tend to break over time. I mean, it's possible that the seal can go in them, but I've yet to have that problem. For the CO2, you take the handle off, like so, and you put your CO2 cartridge, you seat it in here, and you tighten it up to pierce the capsule with the inbuilt piercing screw. So it's all, you don't need a separate key or anything, it's all contained in the gun. So you don't have to worry about losing any like Allen keys or anything. So that's how you load the CO2. Let me just do this. What am I doing here? I'm making a mess of this. That's better. It's not normally that awkward, it's just me messing it up. But yeah, I mean, it's just generally an all-round really nice looking gun. Oh yeah, and on the you have rails. You can add whatever you want. You can add like a dot sight, and you can also add a laser sight to the underside of the barrel here, or you can add like a flashlight, like a tactical light. Me personally, I've never been crazy about adding gadgets to my CO2 pistols. I really like this just how it looks as it is. And I think if you add too much bling onto them, like too many like gadgets, it gets to the point where I think it just starts to look a bit silly rather than cool. I just like this how it is, in my personal opinion. But if you want to, you've got the Picatinny kind of rail to add a dot sight, and you can add a laser sight or whatever you want under here. So you can customize it a bit as well. That's another good thing about it. Um, yeah, I only bought this Friday, and I've test fired it. I think Saturday or Sunday, and I had some fun with it, and which I'll show you soon anyway, because I'm gonna fire it again so you guys can see it. But yeah, I don't know what to say about it really. It's just a really fun, nice looking budget gun that will probably last you quite a long time. And 400 I mean, if we round it off to say 450 FPS, that's generally more powerful than your average blowback pistol. I mean, most blowback pistols are about 320 to 350 FPS, because you need some of the power is used up in operating the blowback system. Whereas with these guns, all the power can just go into the pellet or the ball bearing, so you get a bit of extra power. So generally, this is more powerful than your vast majority of CO2 guns. And I picked this up for just £50 from my local gun shop. In American money, that's roughly about $60. And it came with a load of spare magazines and some pellets and some CO2. So I'm really not complaining. For the price, I mean, brand new, you could probably pay about 70 odd pounds for it. Yeah, I mean, the price will vary depending on where you go. But you can pay probably about 50 to about 70 pounds for this. And for that price, you're getting a really nice chunky little revolver with a nice little bit of power behind it. So yeah, that is the Crosman Vigilante CO2 revolver. So anyhow, I'm now going to I'm going to take this gun for a little test fire, and I'm going to film it so you can watch the gun in action. So anyhow, if you've been watching so far, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in a minute when I shoot it. Thank you again. See you in a bit. Bye bye. Okay, so that's the little shooting demonstration. I hope you got at least a little something out of that. I'm sorry I couldn't provide you with a better quality shooting demonstration. I don't have like a studio or anything fancy. It's just like I'm just shooting indoors. But at least you got to see the gun fire, if nothing else. One thing I will say is I think this gun is surprisingly quiet for its size compared to other CO2 guns. I mean, my Dan Wesson 715 and my Umerich snub-nosed Smith & Wesson are noticeably louder than this. But this is fairly quiet despite having maybe a little more power, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, it's a really nice little gun, fun gun to shoot. And I don't know what else I can say about it really. Um, I personally would recommend buying one if you want to, of course. They're great little fun guns. They're good. They're a budget gun, so they won't like break the bank, and they'll provide you with hours of fun, and they'll last you a long time as well. Because as mentioned earlier, they don't have so many working parts like blowback pistols, say for example. So they generally last quite a long time, at least from my experience. So if you're looking for a cheap fun gun that looks good and performs well, I would definitely recommend one of these, because I just think they're quite cool looking and just fun to shoot with both ball bearings and pellets. So anyhow, that's it for this video, I think. I've pretty much shown you all I can show you about the pistol as far as I know. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. All channel support is appreciated, and I will see you soon in the next video. Okay, so thank you again. Bye bye.